We do love you, Leeds. I think. Do we love you, Leeds, Adam?
Do we? Do we? They don't love us, do they?
Fucking don't, mate. They don't. Let me give you a cardiac arrest where it's going, honestly. Mental. Anyways, guys, hello, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds for your player ratings. Imagine Not Rating Leeds. I brought along a friend today, as you can see, Adam. I think he needed a bit of a vent, and there's some gaps where I've got to fill polls and stuff like that, so it's quite nice to fill polls in. It sounds like I'm having a scrap with a Polish lot, then, fill polls in. But no, it'd be nice to have Adam on and have a chin wag with him, get his thoughts outside of WhatsApp group. There's just been pinging left, right, and centre for the last 24 hours. So it's nice to see your face, Adam. I do need a bit of therapy. You sort of said you don't want to be harping on too much about the negatives, although we're going to touch on them. Obviously, a lot of low scores in this player ratings, but you want to really dive into what you think needs to change going forward as well, don't you, buddy?
Well, yeah, I want to try to. Like, I mean, first thing, like, is I feel the same as everyone else. Like, I'm really pissed off. I'm angry. I'm upset. Like, and then you go, well, it's one game. But the problem is, it's part of a pattern now, I think.
Yep.
And so the thing is now, you've got to look at the wires, hows, and you've got to try and arrest that pattern. And the problem is, the only one person that can do that is Daniel Farke. So do we trust Daniel Farke to get this right? Because it's all on him. So he said there's some language used in all sorts of language in the press conference after. And one of the things he said is we'll equip the lads with the best possibilities to get this done or whatever. No, like it's a we, it's not them. Like, why are you separating? You know, in the pre-match you were saying about some of the players knew they'd been in Premier League next season, so it didn't matter. What was that? What's the point? No. I'm not sure he's a very smart man, to be honest. But his inflexibility, everything about him, like it's interesting because, you know, like I've been sort of flirting with it, you know. Well, what if we do go up last game? You know, I was saying on Friday night, late night, what if we do go up last game? Are we all just happy that, you know, if we don't go up, Farke gets sacked. If we do go up, we keep him for the harder job for the Premier League, which is just you know. But everyone goes, oh no, we've got to keep him. But it's only people like Easy that are willing to put their head above the parapet and say, this is how I feel about him right now. It doesn't take a loss for him and his emotional reaction for him to go, actually, he explains himself very well.
He does.
On Friday again, you know, it's all right, us all going, but actually he explains himself very well. And he never, you know, he's always very measured in what he says and why he says it. And we all see it, but we bear our head in the sand a little bit because we're winning games of football. But it's like squad management is abysmal and it's costing us again. And it's so frustrating because it's one game. If Melier just stands there, lets the ball hit his leg for that second goal, we win the game of football and then we're fine. So like everyone's happy and including me. So it's like, where the hell is the balance in any of this? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a toughie, mate. It really is. Like I say, I think it's a really good one to pull up. It's easy because he has me so frustrated. When we're winning, he still comes. It's one of them, innit? When you're winning, you don't want to see any negatives. And Easy will always find a negative, but of course, no one's ever perfect. You come win 4-0. There's still things you can pull out of that, and sometimes we win. And it's in spite of Farke. We've had games where we've won. It's been the quality that's prevailed, and we haven't seen much tactical nous from Farke, and we still come away with 3 points, which almost happened yesterday. You know, for me, yesterday would have still been a red flag. I'd have still been, buzzing. Obviously, get that second goal. You leave on such a high, like you would, like I did at Sunderland game, like people did at Sheffield United game. But there've been massive questions asked from me personally, and I'm sure a lot of fan base, had we still won that game 2-1? Because honestly, that was dire football, and we've been playing poor now for 6, 7, 8 games. And now, you know, those last 5, the results have dried up. You know, we got away with it, didn't we, against Sunderland, Sheffield United? But you don't really look at the performance there because it's such a tough game. They're the better sides in the division. You look at it and go, well, we won, so it doesn't matter. Expecting, you know, a kick into action, not just in terms of results, but also performance in the last 5. And the performances have been so below par recently. The form players, Adam, are no longer in form. So this is where Farke needs to use this, switch it up. Has to be some improvement in his lineups for me.
The problem is, of course, with that, you look at, you know, we've got an absolute gun player in Ramazani. He's a brilliant championship player. He's been ghosted since he got injured. He doesn't get any minutes.
No,
he gets dropped in for 10 minutes at the end. People moan about Josie. If he gets 10 minutes at the end, what's he supposed to do? What are these players supposed to do? Tanaka come on yesterday, 60 minutes. That's probably the hardest position on the pitch to get on the pitch and get up to the speed of the game. He received the ball every time we have the ball. Tanaka receives it. He's receiving it in the tightest space. So we're expecting like, not every player can just drop in and get up to the pace of the game straight away. It's easy to come on. Obviously, start the game, so the whole pace of the game's getting going, or at half time, and everyone's getting up to the pace of the game. 60 minutes. It's really tough. And it's not surprised there's mistakes. I blame Farke for so much yesterday. Meslier, yeah, but I say, and ultimately, no matter what we say about any player, any individual moment, everything we're doing right now is of Farke's making. But it's good and bad, all of it. He's had 2 years, and this is what he's made. This is what he's got to. So
I have to agree, mate. Like you say, we can talk about individual performances. You can't do nothing about Sullivan slipping against Burnley. You can't do nothing about Meslier dropping the ball, but he's still picking players who are making, like Meslier particularly, he's still picking. And we've said a few times that we had him, especially since that whole mistake. Any more mistakes by Mez, you've got to look at Farke because he's still picking him. And people will say he hasn't got an adequate replacement. For me, how do you know? Darlow has been in this division, but how do you know? He's adequate for Wales, coming in cold, playing 1 or 2 games and not playing for 3 months, and he's doing all right for Wales. Why can't he come in? How do we know that by now we wouldn't have Darlow 12 games in a row now? So I don't know how many it is since Hull, but a decent couple of months play. How do we know he won't be in full flow now? I'll tell you one thing, I'd back him to catch simple ball. We're not asking for him to wheel here. You'd ask him to come out and catch a fucking ball, which he's been doing since he was a kid as a goalkeeper. Standard. We now know why Meslier punches, don't we?
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, Darlow played really well for Wales apparently as well. Really so he's, it's not.
He has done every international camp, mate. Everyone.
I think Farke's backed himself into this corner now that he can't change it. I think he's got to look at the whole picture. The only green shoots I can see in any of this is it's all got to be a Farke's making, and it's changes to the team. Solomon's been off it for a while now. He's no threat, and his ball retention's terrible. So even to double up him, okay, where's Spurs? Aronson scores a goal 30 seconds ago, missed for the rest of the game. Aronson's goals should be the cherry on top of his cake of his game. Yeah, his goals. Oh, he scored 10 goals. Yeah, that is the whole picture of Aronson. That cake is the whole. That's not the cherry. It should be the other way around. James has looked off it for a while now. Yet he still throws him in, and then he won't. Farke didn't rest anyone in the build-up into the international break. Yet we come back now. Tanaka gets a rest. Firpo gets a rest. Why is he resting 1 or 2 lists? Last time he tried to rest players. I know he did a couple times this season. Last season at Stoke, and then he shit himself when we played rubbish, and he goes back to it. I say this, and again, I'm really ranting now. Sorry, and then it goes back to this with conversation we had with Sean about should make changes toward the end of this game where it's a too tight game. Well, think of the bigger picture. Don't just flog them 90 minutes and start them at QPR again. Hope for the best. Yeah. Make changes. Manage the team for the season, not just that individual game. His squad management is atrocious. Ramazani can't help us for the rest of the season because he's so off it. He's not match sharp at all. He's just not. And we'll give him a few days off for the international break. Give him a couple days. Why didn't he play for the under 21s in the international break? Why didn't he do whatever? Yeah. Just get him sharp. He's of no use to us whatsoever. And he's one of our better players, but he's not got a look in since he got injured in November, whatever it was.
Yeah, like I say, you're asking a lot now, to come in these crunch games and reignite that form we saw earlier in the season. You're asking a hell of a lot. It's a toughie now because, for me, at least he's fresh. But you're asking a lot for him to come in and show that form, and I don't know, it's a toughie, mate.
He was so up yesterday when he came on, wasn't he? I mean, I say it's harder to come on as a sub, I think, than starting and getting up to pace game with everyone else. But he took on one play at one stage and he just stood there and someone just walked past him and took the ball one stage for no reason. Yeah. And he lost his head. He started charging through people, arguing with their bench. There was a lot wrong with that performance. Joseph's just all over the place when he comes on.
It will bad, mate. I'm gonna start going through ratings as we're not having a nat anyway. So Meslier, a 3 out of 10. I'm gonna check what the chat is saying.
Only Ilya Meslier could save a penalty and get a warranted 3 out of 10. He could do this. The only goalkeeper in the world.
The chat have gone with a 2. Right, and I sort of get it, but you know what it is? It's the penalty for me. The penalty save. There were 2 moments in that first half. Well, the penalty save, which I'll be honest with you, what a really good save as well. He guessed the right way, but it was in the corner. I'm not saying he didn't have loads of power behind it, but it wasn't a bad penalty. If he goes the other way, it's tucked in the bottom corner. It's a decent save that from Mez. And then there was a header after Ampadu gave away a stupid free kick out wide. They flipped it, got it off at post, and he was just really alert. It came straight at him, don't get me wrong, but he caught it really alert. And those were 2 really heavy. We've got away with one here. It's going to be our day. And I said to bloke aside him in the second half, Tanaka would just play the ball out for the corner, and obviously it's a corner, but I'm sort of talking to him saying Melior's probably man at match. No one's really playing that well. Melior's probably man at match, and then 10 seconds later he goes and does that. And like you said there, if we win this game 2-1, Adam, he's probably getting an 8 out of 10. I'm probably giving him an 8 out of 10. That's the level.
He dropped the first one, didn't he? So you're probably struggling on that anyway. Like if we win 2-0,
But sorry, if you don't make any mistake,
Yeah, sorry. I mean, like, so the second one, I think he should have saved that as well. Personally, how do you feel about that? The second one.
Yeah, it goes straight through him. I don't understand. When you look at the angle, I've seen a couple of shots of it where they froze it just as he's about to shoot. And I've seen like loads of clips saying, how do I tell my grandkids that this guy scored this goal? The angles are all against him. Melier should be saving that, and it goes straight through. It's like he's a fucking ghost. It just goes straight through.
It's actually really bad technique. If you watch when he
It's
shoots
so
and where the
bizarre.
ball goes, the way Melier is set up when he shoots, if he doesn't move, the ball hits him in the right shin. But he
Yeah.
does the keeper thing where you try and drop down and save it underneath yourself almost.
If
He
you're a
doesn't
normal
balance.
bloke in there, if when I'm playing Creators Cup for
Yep,
Leeds
yep,
YouTubers,
yep.
if I'm stood in goal, I'll probably just stick my foot out and boot it away.
Do you know what? If you probably don't move because it struck so
You
quick, and
don't.
you save it, it hits you in the shin and
You
goes
do.
over there somewhere.
You do.
You are 100% right. You saved that shot.
I probably do, mate. I probably don't. I get an 8 out of 10. But yeah, it's such a shame, mate, because like I say, the confidence he must have had after saving that, and you're thinking, right, it's our day for
You
it all
can't
just
blame
to go
Joseph
straight.
for having a bobbly ball he didn't control on the halfway line for the
No, well, the thing
Swansea
is, it's an
scoring.
accumulation though. When you've got Joseph with bad touch, you've got Tanaka sort of bottling tackle and the sort of meg him, and then it's played. Is it Joe Allen who plays ball through as well?
I think
Well,
so.
Joe Allen. I mean, come
I
on.
know. I
Joe
know.
Allen, what's he 40? Like it's a madness, really. But he hit it well hard and low. But to be fair, like you say, Melee should be doing better there, and he's definitely at fault in that game. So from a really high score, it would have been for a penalty save to an absolute shocker. But yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Cox said it should have been a -1. Yeah, I can only bang 4 scores on there, so I try and go a couple below my score and a couple above. But yeah, I think 3 because a penalty save, but it could be a fucking 0, it could be a 1, it could be a 2. He's lost his points at the end of the day, hasn't he? Let's be fair, it's another shocker. Like Nye says here, Darlow has to come in for the 7 games, can't be any worse. Would you say as well, Adam, you just go get Darlow in now, or do you think he'll still stick with him?
I think he'll stick with him.
Really? Don't think that's a game too far.
I think he's backed himself into this corner. Don't forget, we don't go up. Farke gets a payoff and he goes and manages in Bundesliga 2, whatever, and we're all left here with this. He can stick to his stubborn, pig-headed ways and go, oh well.
Yeah, well, I know. Let me ask you another question. What's Darlow thinking right now?
So Richard's about on that. Yeah, I'm not saying Joseph's touch is good, but to say he's more at fault for the goal than Melier is another thing altogether.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not more of a fault.
For me, I know. I appreciate. By the way, you can only type saying, and I can say lots of words. But that's just, yeah. I'm not saying Joseph's touch is good. It's a bobbling ball. And by the way, why are we throwing that on the angle into the pitch? Throw it down the line. I mean, even the basics of football. Throw it down the line for someone to knock it on. Don't knock on. They've still got to win a header. Why throw it into the middle of the pitch? Really,
yeah,
stupid
it really was.
decisions.
It's mad when you go back and we've actually got the attacking throw in. It's mad to think 10 seconds after that ball leaves his hands, we fucking concede a goal. It's absolute madness. It's just not good game management at all. Now, I think people are going to say this is a bit too high for Bogle, but I think he's one of the ones who can walk off the pitch, I think, and sort of hold his head high to a degree. I thought he was limited from his best game, having Dan James having a bit of a poorer game, although I do think Dan James again tried. I think him and Bogle tried loads down the right side, especially the first half. That first goal came from Bogle as well, crossing it, getting it, across the box. Obviously, he did with the assist. It sort of bobbled around and it with Pino for what seemed like 5 fucking minutes, to be honest. But he seemed to be at the age of it before he just sort of got a leg in it and got it in. But I thought Bogle and James down that right still sort of did the bits. But I think while ever James is lacking that cutting edge, it's always going to take away from Bogle as well. I just think they've gone from being. Sometimes your level can be that good, Adam, that your drop off seems massive, even though it might just be the ball's just not quite landing for you. You're trying everything, notes really changing your effort. I think James looks a little bit leggy, but that right hand side, I think they've still got really good connection. I think they've still got good synergy. I just think they're just not quite at it. But yeah, I think a 6 for Bogle. I don't think he did not too bad, mate.
I think as well. Like, so Bogle isn't playing as well as he had done, but I think people are playing us differently. There's this high press thing. They fun it to the fullbacks. The fullback looks up. They push our winger back, or if he runs behind, it doesn't really matter. That's got to be a very good ball. And I think that they're cutting off the options and the space for the fullbacks a lot. They know we play out by the fullbacks. We play a lot out by a Bogle.
Yeah.
So I think in Bogle in general, I think the opposition actually influences his game more than anyone else's, the way they're set up now. And I think 6 out of 10 is pretty fair. He doesn't really make any mistakes. He still influences the game somehow, gets involved, does his cutbacks, etc. He was fine. 5, 6. I mean, 6 is probably 6. By the way, for me, is where you probably start this each time. For me, where a player goes into the game as a 6, probably.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. Yeah,
6 is about par. Yeah.
Let's see what people are saying. We'll move on swiftly from that one. Oof. Wow. 6, 17%, 5, 39, 4, 44%, even said a 4. Wow.
Again, that's us humans bias, isn't it? To say if we had won the game, I think he probably gets a 5. I know where we're all at. I know we all sort of bad in it when these things happen. Of course, I agree 100%. Like it's hard.
Going off that though, the chat think he should have got a 4 means the ones that have got 4s and 3s are probably going to be minuses. That's actually mental. That I didn't think he was that bad. To be fair, I don't think he were great. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I think a 6 were fair, but yeah, I'd have took a 5. I'm surprised at that though. A 4, I really am. Right, next we'll get into it. Joe Rodon. I've gone 5. I don't think. He had a terrible game. The penalty that he gave away was shocking. Honestly, I was so pissed off with that. I won't lie to you. I think his passing were better than it was last few weeks. I don't think he gave much away. A couple of times he drove with ball. There weren't many people running off him, so he sort of ran in midfield a couple of times and just sort of like arms. And we just went to the side of him because there was no one really moving into space for him. But yeah, I don't think he had a bad game. I know we conceded 2 goals, but when you look at them, I don't think Rodon won a fault for second goal, and he certainly won a fault for first goal. So I think the penalty, he was saved by that, but I've got to knock him down a point for that. I think he was steady. I don't think, like I say, defensively we were poor, really. They had, a couple of them were set pieces, weren't they? Even the one that hit the post, a penalty save, and obviously the goal that Melee gave away from a corner. So it's not like they cut us open from open play. Rodon, I thought did okay, but the penalty really pissed me off. But like I say, Melee saved his bacon on that. I reckon you're all going to say that's a bit too high, though. What do you think?
I think everything's same. Sort of 5 is probably about right. The penalty knocks him down a bit, but otherwise he was okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think so. I know there's much really to say on it. The penalty really annoyed me. Ampadu did something 5-6 minutes later as well, where the player's running away from our goal. Why feel the need? I don't know if it's just a rush of blood, being at Ellen Road, wanting to put that tackle in that gets the crowd up. But we're 1-0 up. Why do that? Just stand him. He's going away from the goal. Like, why would you do that?
You need better than your captain there, don't you? You need him to lead by example. Keep calm. You can't just stand there all the time telling everyone else to keep calm and do stupid shit yourself. Like, you need to show it. Don't just say it. Show it. And I think, by the way, on the penalty, do you think it? I mean, you think that's given 10 out of 10 times?
Yeah. I assume you do. I do actually think it would have.
I don't know. I think it's given sort of 4 out of 10. And I think that
really,
I think it's one of those that the only club if it's not given, the only people speaking about it are Swansea fans. That's it's one of those. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't think it was really clumsy. Really stupid. But yeah, where I was sat as well, I had a good view of it, and I thought it would have pen straight away, and everyone around me did. But I watched it back, and yeah, I think because I was so dead set when I pen at the stadium, I've not really allowed myself to think out other. But maybe you're right. Maybe it won't be given 10 out of 10. But
Jonathan there said we're a one-trick pony. I want to know what that trick is. What he thinks that trick is.
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Is he
I agree. I'll be interested to see what he thinks the trick is.
Give it to Dan James because it felt like that a little bit yesterday.
I think it's working around the back, get a fullback in a bit of space, work it forward from there. Teams will work that out. Pin our fullbacks a little bit more. Pin the wingers. Aronson and Pro aren't very good at showing for the ball. Aronson doesn't really understand football very well. And so they're going, we can't work it out because we haven't got the ability. Like, we tried at QPR about half end, we started playing long goal kicks. Because if you look, most of our passes are in our half. Fine, that's fairly standard. Most of Swansea's passes are in our half as well. So they made the game played in our territory because they went forward very quickly. They pressed us, and we had to, when we looked to chip it or go long, that's where you need to show composure, a defender. That's where Tanaka would have helped from the start. That composure when that press is on, let that player come to you 3-4 yards more, 2 yards more, 1 yard closer, then release it. That's where Ampadu wasn't very good in the game. But we'll get into Ampadu in a second, sure. But
we will.
But yeah, that's the one trick for me. And we can't play direct. We have no ability to play direct at all.
No, why do you think that is? Just because Pirro isn't strong enough to hold it up?
Yeah, well, Pirro doesn't. That's not no slight on Pirro really, because that's not his game in the slightest.
He's good at holding it up when it's to feet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's pretty good at dropping deep and holding it to feet, but he's not going to be winning headers and you know, we have got the pace for flick-ons, but he ain't he's not that kind of player, is he? And because we haven't got a profile of player like that, we didn't do that in January. We could have brought in someone who could do that when you need a goal, when you need to go direct to. And like you said, we haven't got that. We've got a striker who really needs it played in, needs it tippy-tappy around box, and he'll finish it. And sometimes games don't allow you to play that way, do they?
yeah. Well, so we have to play out that. The other tricks are we can't score from set pieces and we don't score long shots. We limit, our only type of goal is get around the back and cutbacks. So like we do limit ourselves, and it's all about the fullbacks. The whole game from releasing it at the back is to the fullbacks and going forward is to the fullbacks. So when you have your best fullback on the bench, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, no, 100%. As good as Biden, which we'll get into, I thought Biden was sound. He isn't going to do what Firpo does, and we're so reliant, like you say, on our fullbacks doing that. It's key to our success. When we play well, 9 times out of 10, Firpo and Bogle have got 7s and 8s, haven't they, out of 10? That's the blueprint for us. But moving on, Pascal Struijk. So I've given him a 6, which I think a lot of people say is a little bit high. But again, I don't think he were poor yesterday. He didn't give a penalty away, hence why I've given him one more mark than Rodon. Did he win the header that got saved and back out to Nonto? I think it was Pascal. I might be wrong with that. Could have been Rodon. I might be wrong with that. Someone in chat, I'm sure, will tell me. It was Pascal, wasn't it? So, a really good save there. He almost got an end of that. But yeah, same again. I don't think he were massively troubled. I think his passing was neat and tidy. He sort of did what he needed to do, conceding 2 goals, centre half. You think, but like I say, there were none of them really his fault for me. Well, Duncan, what is that? Yeah, sound. But yeah, I think a 6, 1 point better than Rodon because he didn't give a penalty away.
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
not really much to say about that.
No.
They're being very harsh in this poll, though. To be fair, it's just tied. I'll give it a sec, see if it goes 29% each for 4 and 6. One more vote in there for 4 or 6, and I'll switch it.
Just someone vote, will you?
4 or 6. Someone click on 4 or 6.
Yeah, do not vote 3 or 5.
Sod you. I'm just picking it. Right, 6. I win one. I'm picking that one. 6. Right. Let's see who's next on this. It'll be Sammy Biden. I'm biased, so he gets a point for being biased. But I mean, take it away with Biden, mate. What do you think?
He's solid enough. He's not solid enough. He's a really solid player. But what you can't do is expect him to do what Firpo does. I mean, look at QPR. Firpo and Bogle are 2 players that got us back in that game. So, and then I don't understand why everyone has played the 3 games leading up, and then we drop. Fullbacks is pretty. I mean, they may be our most important players. They're not far off it. They have to do everything. Everything. I say they get involved in build-up, they get involved in crosses, overlapping, underlapping, everything. Firpo in particular. Firpo's the danger. If the ball's wide for a cross, Firpo's the danger man. I think it's just asking Josh to fire him to, like the profile-wise. I mean, that's the whole squad building, though. I mean, to not have important your fullbacks are, and not have backup for either of the right profile is atrocious. It's rubbish.
Yeah, nice. I mean, looking at here, I think a lot of people are going to vote low on Byron based on he isn't going to do what Firpo does. But if you base it on what Byron does, I think Byron did stuff very well. He won his headers. Every time ball goes up, he won his headers. He went neat and tidy at back. I don't really know what more you want from Byron. He isn't going to do what Firpo does ultimately. So I think from a Byron performance, I think he definitely will. I mean, you don't normally get lower than a 6 from Byron, do you? You don't. No. We're feeling shitty at a minute, but Byron's usually a 6 out of 10, as a standard, and beyond that sometimes. I won't leave too much on this again. Honestly, you harsh buggers, man. Free, give over,
brilliant,
and give over a chuffing free. You're breaking me heart. More importantly, you're breaking his heart because he watches this. He's a regular.
He does, yeah.
It's easy. It's easy in disguise. It's Sam Byron. I'm joking, obviously. Ampadu. Just remind myself what I put. Ampadu 4. This is going to be in minuses. Ampadu. I'm going to go 3, 4, 5.
God.
And
what was he doing on the pitch? It was like he was so off match sharp. And why suddenly did he leapfrog Gruev and Tanaka into this game? The captain needs to come back in for this. That's part of the problem, actually. Like Farke's picked his captain because we need our captain. We need, like I said on Friday, this is a huge game to get back into it. No matter what Farke says, they're all going, well, last season, mate, you had no clue about how to fix this. So if it slides again, we don't give a shit what you're saying because you've proved you don't know what you're doing in this situation. So, he goes, right, okay, so what difference I make? I'm gonna go. This is Hail Mary. This was like, onto the pitch, captain, manage it, blah, blah. And it was the biggest. It was such a mistake. It was a massive. I said on Friday I wouldn't start him. It's crazy. Like, why would you? I don't understand. Well, I do understand. I understand his mentality, but it's not. It's not a good thought process.
Do you know what it was as well? I know, like Rothwell playing at home because what Rothwell gives you. It was more of a shock to me not to see Ampadu playing, but to see him playing instead of Tanaka. Like, Tanaka and Ampadu wouldn't have shocked me as much as it was seeing Rothwell and Ampadu. Like, that shocked me. I know Tanaka with the playing away and all that. I get that, but like, he's played in internationals breaks already this season and come back straight into the side. You're risking playing someone who's coming back from injury, or you've got someone who's been away on international who is not, might be a little bit leggy. But we've had it before. We've had Firpo come back and play 2 days later when we've really needed it. When we hadn't had the options. So I don't really see what he was doing there. You played someone who's just come back from injury, not fresh, and you've got someone who's been away on international duty. It's a toss up anyway. Really, play Gruev. You know what I mean? If you're not,
that's the thing, though. It wasn't about someone defensive minded, was it? It was about getting your captain back inside, and that was all that mattered to him. That's all Farke was thinking about. Because if you go, I need someone defensive, you just pick Gruev, and you've got Tanaka needs a rest.
Yeah.
But the problem was, we knew they were going to play a high pressing game. We know our best first receiver of the ball in playing his midfield is Tanaka. He would have been crucial this game, and we didn't select him. It makes no sense to me.
100%. And we'll get on to Tanaka because I think Tanaka was absolutely appalling when he came on. I think he was at fault. Well, I played a fault in both goals, but I do feel like when you're Tanaka and he comes on, you could honestly at stadium you could sense it. As soon as he came on, as soon as he started running down to get his gear off, it went, hey yo, and they were all right behind him. And I think he was trying too hard, he was trying too much. If he'd been able to play his normal, general, authentic game from the off, and he's coming on there, he says coming into the engine room of the game in such a massive game, and it won all at that stage. I think it was, and it's just. I used
to play centre midfield. I always struggled. I always start right because I was pretty good, unless I'd had a go, or if I'd upset the manager or someone by throwing my boots at someone on a training or whatever I used to do. Like, I was a child, to be fair. But so sometimes I was made to be a sub to teach me a lesson. I could never come on a sub and get up to the pace of the game. I used to struggle so much. I used to feel like the game was going past me. And you see me feel like, you touch it slightly off it all of a sudden. And I think some players just like that. And that's obviously just me and like Snackers. But it's just, that's how some players are. And to ask him, I mean, he knew before the game Snacker was going to come on 60 minutes. He probably told both of them that was happening. Like, I mean, what's it all about? Like, I don't understand any of it. Like, okay, I'm going to make if I need to influence the game, I'll do that from 70 minutes onwards. And Snacker's coming on for Ampadu at 60. Like, be better than that. Half-time subs, like, be better. Influence the game positively. Do something that looks like you can help the team.
In-game, mate, Farke, which we'll get onto at the end, I have lost so much faith in him. I really have.
And by the way, this is where every other club, you talk to Gladbach, you talk to Norwich fans, they'll all say the same. In-game management, he hasn't learned a thing, and that's why I'm hopeful he learned something for these last 7 games for us. But why on earth would he? Because he's never done it before.
Yeah, that's it.
So inflexible.
Ampadu got a 3 from the chat, and it would have been lower if 1 or 2 would have gone in. They were a bit annoyed with the chat that I didn't have a 1 or 2 in. I can only put 4 options down, so I'm trying to be as fair as I can. Joe Rothwell, 6. Let me know your thoughts. I thought his set pieces were decent. His corners were on the money, to be fair. Came close a couple of times. Not at his best, no, which is why I've knocked him down maybe a point from having a good game. I thought it was steady. I think a 6 is pretty fair for Joe. He is one of the few that I think tried, could hold his head fairly high, just wasn't at it, but how he's supposed to be when, the sides, the majority of the decent players are not in format, played really bad. But I think he's a kind of player that takes the ball and he tries to set the game to Swansea. He does it every game. He just weren't quite at the levels, but I do think a 6 is fair. Is there all that jumps out to you where you'd knock him down?
Not really. I think he missed his partner in Tanaka. I think they've spent all this time building up this partnership that Art Farke thinks that, whatever. So, and it's whatever. Like, I think he was okay. That's about it. I think he had. I mean, to be fair, if you look at stats, etc., I think he had the most dribble. I think he had the most completed dribbles, most key passes, all sorts of stuff. You know, like he did have some influence on the game, some positive influence.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's much time sticking around on him, mate. 44% said 6, same as me. I've got that one right.
The chat game is 6.
Yeah, they give him a 6. They like Rothwell. He's in the good books. He's in the good books. I don't know what's going on there. Hold on, Aronson. This will be an interesting one. I'm interested to see. I want to go. I'll start there because I thought he had a shocker, but my score probably doesn't indicate that. I say a shocker, maybe not a shocker, but yeah, Brendan. I give him a 6. I'm going to give him a 5. I'm doing it by Brendan's standards. Did Brendan do anything that I don't expect him to do? No. Brendan Aronson is Brendan Aronson. Dogging off the ball, not strong with it, don't create many chances. He gets a goal. He will value for a 5. He gets a goal, so I'll give him a 6. And don't get me wrong, it was 40 seconds in, so he still played that. You know, he still played the rest of the game. So he's at very average level. I reckon it's going to be a lower score from the chat. What would you give him, Adam? Just out of interest.
I think Brendan Aronson. He goes into the season. He finds a part-time job. He becomes a semi-pro. He can be a cabbie. He can do whatever. He can run around if he wants. I don't care. He could be like he go collect the trolleys or like collect the shopping, like the internet shopping. He could do that. Imagine how quick he'd be at collecting internet shopping if you're really good at that. Because he's always on the press, like beans. And,
do you think he's like the player equivalent of David Hockaday, where one day he'll just be like doing a normal job? Like, I used to play for Leeds. I cost 30 million. Do you think he's like that? Like, how did that happen?
Honestly, I've been saying it for weeks. I've never actually said it. Well, I'm not there, but the sooner he doesn't have to play for Leeds United and I don't have to put up with him, the better. I'm so fed up with his pass detail. I can pass better than him. I'd love to have a little game against him. I think I could pass better than him. I certainly have strength. I'm so fed up with him. I am so fed up. I get annoyed as he's bad. You know, I've got bias, and I get the first time he gives the ball away, which is usually the first time he gets the ball. It annoys me so much. Like he's just got no care anything he does, and he runs around a lot. Joe Blackburn said on Friday, yeah, but he presses. Oh yeah, okay, great, he presses, but who cares? Like, just played a better footballer, and also like everyone goes, he's pressing. Well, like what influence? We didn't have Swansea didn't play it around at the back, so he didn't have any chance to run around and do any pressing really. Like they played for us. They're doing what everyone's doing at the moment, playing more direct against us and high pressing us, and they're all beating us doing it. And this guy here has the least influence on every game of football as a result.
Yeah.
I agree. Brilliant postman. Like he'd take like the round with a really long drive to be up and down.
Yeah, I'll say what I say more streams as well. I am starting some comments for after because I want to get some thoughts on some of them, some really good questions and that coming in of what we think. But yeah, the chat have said a 4. If he wouldn't have scored after 40 seconds, God knows what that'd have been then. But
he would be a better postman than footballer.
Yeah, probably, mate. Yeah.
Or mailman.
Yeah, like I say, some of these scores, to be fair, I'm looking back at my reaction thinking, look how pissed off I was in car with Priestley. And then I'm giving people the all-right scores, but it seems a bit crazy. So, yeah, I don't know.
By the way, I will go back to well, like, I know it's unfair. Like, he's an 8 playing 10. He can run a lot. He can, in a 4-3-3, I think he would have some more purpose, blah, blah, blah. Don't care. We are. He's playing 10. He's rubbish at it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. What I will caveat this and say, it's my fucking channel. If I want to give James a 6, I will do because I fucking love him. So yeah. To be fair, what I do is I sit there and Adam's made these slides for me. He's a good lad, is Adam, and I tweak them. I think they're all set at 6 out. Then I tweak them down, and I sat when I come on in. I look at them. Sometimes I'm thinking like I'm looking at James now, thinking maybe a 5, but I think 6 is probably just a little bit biased because of how good he's been. Although that shouldn't matter. We talk about the Swansea game. I still think he gives everything that Aronson gives off the ball, pressing, running around like an absolute lunatic. A couple of times yesterday, there were one time in particular, if you remember, when he got played over and he took a touch and he was through on goal, and his second touch let him down, and the players got to him before he was through. And you think 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. He takes a touch and he's gone, and it's a goal. And we saw it at Watford. It was similar to Watford. You know, a little bit further out in this one. His first touch wasn't as good, which is because that confidence is sort of lacking. I mean, he scored for Wales, so you're hoping he can sort of regain that form we've seen recently. But I do think him and Solomon at the minute aren't quite at it. On reflection, if I'm honest, a 5 probably what James should get. But yeah, what do you think?
I would say it was a 5. I think that teams doing this high press, high block, high press thing. And but what usually happens that is when you do a high press, your defense moves with it. But what teams doing against us is doing that and that. So their defense isn't going up any higher. So they're nullifying the threat in behind of James somewhat, but not going to another 20 yards, maybe 10 yards, a bit rather than 20. And I think James is suffering as a result of it. I don't think he's finding the space. And also, I say we're not able to play out to Bogle enough to get James in as much space. We did it early on, obviously, and we got him behind him and scored. But beyond that, you might find out on the charity day if I'm allowed to play.
Yeah, if you decide to play.
Well, if I decide to play, yes. Yeah, it's not fair to, we're allowed, yeah.
Can DJ stop taking these left foot shots? He likes cutting on that left-hand side, but he's yet to bend when in corner at goal, isn't he, yet? But
I think the problem with James is you tell him to not do anything, you can't have him second-guessing anything he does, otherwise he just gets confused. So you just got to leave him to do it, and hopefully he's on some form where things come off more often. Absolutely, the kind in, I mean, that one where I think Byram nearly headed it because he shanks it across the goal and it went about 7 yards wide, but he was in a really good position. Like, I mean, just pick your head up and roll it square and let someone else shoot on their actual strong foot because he's weak. He's rubbish at it.
What I do like about him, though, mate, is, and don't get me wrong, if there's a better option, you should give it. But what I do like about Dan James is brave. He's very, very brave. And, you know, we've said a few times, haven't we? You know, he feels the man. He is the man. At times this season, he has been our star man. And I do like how he plays like that. When he has an opportunity to cut in, he does have a go. How many times have we seen in previous years, mate, where these players don't have a go, tippy-tapping out box, and we just shoot. At Ellen Road, someone takes a good first touch at halfway line and fucking cop shout, shoot. Honestly, it's balmy. But I do like how he takes it on. He does have a go and he backs himself. But yeah, cutting onto his left foot doesn't.
He always has, though, hasn't he? And that's the problem. You watched him yesterday. If you drop that performance into him when he was crap for us, that wouldn't have looked any different at all.
Yeah,
and that's the problem, isn't it? That's where we're at.
100%, yeah. Andy Rowe was Priestley being ironic, Saturday night, good cop, bad cop. No, you know what it is, Andy? He's the most positive, annoying twat I've ever known in my life. But my God, do I love that guy. I love that guy. I love his family. He is like a brother to me. I'm probably closer to him than I am, you know, my brother, to be fair. I'm really, really close to Priestley, but he's just such a positive person in life. He's overcome a lot, and he just phases him. So Leeds losing the game really don't phase him. But he pays his money. He goes. He all he thinks about is Leeds United, like everybody here. It's his number one love, I think. But yeah, I do think he knows how to press your buttons, Andy. You'll know watching that you can see he's on the wind up, but it's actually genuine. It's how he feels, and he just knows how to get a reaction out of me by saying it. But yeah. He's a good lad, isn't he, Priestley, Adam? He's a belter, isn't he?
He's like yourself, actually. You mean what? I met him. You've known him for ages, like Priestley.
Yeah,
he's really good guy. Like he just comes off the most genuine, nice. There's no size to him. There's no arrogance. Just a lovely human being. Yeah.
Well, Priestley's one of them. You see, when you wore Adidas 2 stripes all the way through high school, you can take some shit. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't wear any branded gear till he was about 24, and that I think they were hand-me-downs. So he's one of them. He's Priestley. He's a lovely guy. And nothing bothers him. He's not superficial. Don't care what car he drives. Don't care what clothes he wears. He hasn't worn air gel since 88 and he was born in 87. Like, he just didn't bothered at all. And he's just the most salt-earth guy, so I love him. But yeah. I've had a few messages today from opposition fans saying it's the best instant match reaction they've seen. And I think what it is it's just basically two brothers with different opinions, basically, going toe-to-toe with it and not holding back. And that's why it come across really natural. And I knew it would be. I told him to stop talking to me for 15 minutes. I needed to cool down. I got to the car, visor went up, and I just lost my shit. But it was good.
Funny, he said, mate, like, is this a bit sweary? I know, 3 minutes is fine. But what I didn't appreciate was, it's got like 3,000 views, whatever that video, hasn't it? Like,
yeah,
you two arguing in the car. What I didn't appreciate was, what everyone's really enjoyed about is the relationship between you two. Like, you can argue, but you can tell you're not going to fall out about it, which is brilliant.
Yeah, even after about 30 seconds when he goes, fight me, under his breath, and I'm like, oh, I love him. Anyway, Manor Solomon, 5 out of 10. Again, I'm doing that again when I'm sat here now thinking I should have given him a 4. It's the worst game I've seen Solomon play. I think the most ineffective game, Adam. So poor. They're doubling up on him. They have been for weeks. We need to find a different way of playing if that's happening. But everything about him at the minute, his touch isn't quite there. Is it confidence? Is it the pressure? I don't know what it is, but he's just not on it at the minute. He's below.
He's not on it. But by the way, when in international show, he was on it. He looked good. Maybe he was a bit tired or whatever, so some allowance there. But what irks me more than anything with him Like, yeah, usually ball turn's very good, attacking's very good. He is so lazy defensively. He tracks his runner, so
Yeah.
it'll be like, as long as I'm in 5 yards of him, that's fine. He is so lazy at tracking, and someone should be shouting at him, like, because if he's not offering enough going the other way, he doesn't offer anything defensively. And this is what I said about Premier League about a month ago. I said I probably wouldn't sign him because he doesn't do his defensive duties properly.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you even saw last season, didn't you? Somerville, he used to get back. Somerville used to dig in. He used to get up and down in Somerville. You know what I mean? I don't think
this is a star if ever there was.
We'll skip David Batter here. He is with best profile picture.
No, I don't mean that. I mean the actual comment.
I haven't read it yet. Even if Farke gets us promoted, I still think the 49ers will have doubts about keeping him. Would they trust him with a big transfer budget? Yeah.
I could talk about that. That's a lot.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to star that one, mate, and we'll come back to that at the end.
Conversation itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't voted. I'm going to give Solomon 4 because he's a lazy bastard.
Yeah, no, but yeah, Solomon 5 for me. Let's see what the chat's saying. Oh, they've got a 3. Wow. I'll tell you what, chat, you are absolutely not rolling up punches today. You are not happy with this bunch at all. Joel Pido, this is probably going to be a 5. This is probably going to be a 4 from chat, knowing you guys.
It's going to be a 4.
What do you think? Go for Pido. What do you think, Bell? I 6 actually.
I mean, whatever teams are doing against us, it manages the game in such a way that Perot does not get involved in the slightest. I mean, he had assist, he had a goal. I think his XG was nearly 1 by himself somehow during the game. So, like, you know, on the
he had that big chance to keep him. Had a really good save, didn't he? Where I think that was James. James dinged it in, didn't he, from right on side?
It was Aronson, actually. That was Aronson. He was sort of behind him and he volleyed it. And actually, someone said, "Oh, we should score." And I thought that's quite a hard chance because sort of hip high. You got to get around it. You sort of, if you get on target, you're doing okay. And if you get on target, you're unlucky if you don't score then. And that's the thing, isn't it? All these small margins. Like, it's football, isn't it? Like, you try and work. That's why they brought XG in, because because it gives us something to hang on to, something to go, oh, what team was better? Because you go, look at that game and go, we're all in all Leeds United. Leeds United weren't as good as Leeds United, because that's how we rate Leeds United. Were they as good as themselves, or how good as they should be? XG-wise, take their penalty out of it, we were miles ahead than them, and we should have scored a couple more goals, no doubt about it. But of course we didn't. But yeah, no, I think. Sorry, I go back 4, 5, whatever. Doesn't really.
I mean, obviously, it's you get a different opinion, don't you? I mean, I've watched the extended highlights back to get a bit more of a view, but you can't see everything. I mean, in the stadium, when the ball's in different areas of the pitch, obviously, when you watch it on TV, you don't see his movement as such. I had a decent view again, even though at West Stand I weren't as high up as I am at top of East, but I had a really good view where I could sort of see it all. And Pido first half, couldn't get a game. I don't see what much more he could do when we couldn't string a pass together. Second half, first couple of minutes in the second half, he dropped deep like he does, and he did a little flick on and then turned and went, and we were on the ascendancy then with the attack. He did that 3 or 4 times in that second half, and we turned around and were speaking to the guy next to us saying, Pido's back. You know, it wasn't massively effective in the box, but when he drops deep and these little flick-ons, holding the ball and giving it and go, the ball was sticking in the second half. And I probably give him an extra point there from the 5 I initially give him, just because I saw a massive difference in that second half. And I feel like Pido was a main reason for that, because they couldn't get the ball forward, they couldn't string any passes together. Second half, couple of passes, it stuck with Pido, he flicks it and goes. And like I said, went for a good save. He almost come out of a decent volley, a really good goal. And we're talking about maybe a 7 for him or an 8, but yeah, he didn't do much wrong. Didn't have loads of chances, which is what we rate him on. But I think he was all right.
Every time we go for a player, because my mind goes a million miles an hour, it's thinking about 55 different things or whatever. Yeah. I look at that player and go, will he be? So if we stay down, will he be in next season? Who would come in for him? You know, there's a million things going on. I think, maybe, you know, Bundesliga club, 12 million per hour. I don't need to think like that yet. We're still second.
It's mad, isn't it, right? A good way to look at Pido, and I think Pido's been decent this season, really good. He's been one of his top 5 performers. Yeah, his goals will say that. He's really fit into the system well. Top goal scorer in the Championship, would normally be linked with a move away to a Premier League club. January, we see it every season, don't you? The best striker in the Championship always gets linked with a move away to a Premier League club. Pido's never had that.
No.
Well, why is that?
Because
that worries me about Prem.
Because he's not a lone number 9, and that's what they'll want. He's not that player.
Yeah.
So you're not buying him as a goal scorer. If the Premier League club buys him, they're not buying him as a goal scorer, so they can't play him up front by himself.
Yeah, it's fair. He probably fits, doesn't he, going up with a side and being a bench option.
He does, yeah. I mean, that is it. I think he's a good squad option because he's such a good finisher, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think actually there's other German league. I think that's a bit slower.
Yeah.
I think he might be able to play by himself over there. I think it's a bit different.
I agree, mate. I agree. Right, Tanaka. I've gone 4. I was really frustrated with him in the stadium. Like I said, though, that first goal, got played ball, really bad back pass to Meslier, goes out for a corner that we concede from. Obviously, it's not his fault that Meslier does what he does, but Tanaka, really poor pass. Second goal, we're weak in the challenge after Joseph lost it, got megged, but we're weak for me. He should be winning that. For the hype when he comes on, and I love Tanaka. I think he's been, again, one of his top players. I think he's absolutely class. I think he's 3 million, he's probably worth 30 now. I think he's class, but I think, like you said, coming in at that stage of game, it was difficult for him. Maybe he was a bit leggy, I don't know, but he were off it for me, and I give him the same score as I give Ampadu, because I think he was as ineffective, and he was partly to blame a little bit for both goals. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the first one, I think he's trying to pass it back and see the Swansea player come over, because I thought maybe his leg got caught on the sort of backswing of the pass, and then you sort of kick it where you don't mean to. But I think he actually just played it out because he thought he had to. I don't know, whatever. But and the second one, he tried to block tackle, tried to be clever rather than going through it, and it failed. He'd already been booked, hadn't he? So maybe that was it. I think.
I can't remember.
I don't know, but I mean, I say ultimately this is on Farke. We had a big debate, you and Sean, about game state and Farke not feeling comfortable. Yet this one, no matter of game state, he was happy. Half hour to go, Tanaka was always coming on, regardless of game state. That was on Farke again. Yeah. Trying to drop him into the middle, the most action-packed area where your touch has got to be on it the whole time. Otherwise, you're going to lose the ball in a dangerous area. Dropping him into that game, regardless of game state, it's just such simple thinking. Don't see other managers doing it, I don't think, to this extent.
No, you don't. Andy says, Connor mentioned Tanaka's knuckleball. What's a knuckleball in layman's terms? And Ming said it's a pitch in baseball, Andy. Knuckleball in football, isn't that just so where you just punch the ball? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you get one of those. You don't. There's no follow through.
Yeah. I think that's what it is, Andy, isn't it? So Tanaka, I think 4. Fair enough. A 3. 40% say a 3. Very harsh chat. Oof. Very harsh chat. Have you come? I'll come over from Connor's channel or what? Very harsh chat.
As long as we're all blaming Farke for that, that's fine.
Yeah. Who's next? Yeah, this is one I wasn't even going to really put him on, but I should do because you have more minutes than Willie. But again, just very ineffective.
He was bad. If I think it is.
Well, it's just Ramazani.
Yeah, he was bad. He was so bad. He's so off it for such a talented footballer. So off it.
But again, I don't even think it's his fault. I'll probably surprise you with this, mate. I don't think I thought this one through. I just banged him as a 5. I didn't really have an opinion on him. I just thought.
No, I get that. I think he just, he beat someone, argued with the manager, went past someone, just stood there and let someone else take the ball. Sort of got pushed out of the way. Kind of absolute nothing performance to negative. That's about it.
Yeah, what I'll say is he didn't do no wrong, but I feel like he just didn't try much either. Like you say, he took a man on.
I think his head was gone. I think his head gone.
He did lose his head, mate. He lost his cool, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, I guess he wanted to give Solomon. Solomon was not on it, but Ramazani was. And then we had the Ramazani, Perot in the 10, Nonce on the right, and then all of our press was miles off it as well. We had no coordination in any of it because he made so many changes in the front 4.
Yeah.
Or actually, everyone was different in the front 4. Everyone.
Yeah, no, 100%. Danny, I can't put 1s and 2s in, mate. I've got him as a 5. I can't put 1, 2, 3, 4 because then he can't match my score. And we can't even be close. So, yeah, I've got to go a couple at either side of my score. I don't think I'm far off. I think if you give him Ramazani 1, I think you need your head looking at, to be fair. Like, he didn't, fucking hell. A 1, I'd expect him to score a couple of own goals or something, or come on with his shirt inside out or something. I don't know. I just think, I don't think 1s and 2s. I don't really think anyone deserves a 1 or 2, really. Even Mez shouldn't really get a 1 with saving a pen. But yeah, I think 4s, 5s are pretty much fair for Ramazani. What's the chat think? 3.
3, yeah.
3, fair enough. Wow. My scoring shite. No, sod it. Your scoring shite.
Yeah.
Your score, fair play. Like, yeah, it is what it is. See what you say for this one. I'm really bad with bias, me. Like, really bad. I think if someone doesn't do anything wrong that stands out, I tend to give him maybe a point extra, even when I shouldn't. I mean, I've give Firpo a 6. I give Firpo a 6.
How long was he on the pitch?
But about 20 minutes.
Oh, was he?
I think he was. He came on as a triple, didn't he? Him, Joseph, and Ramazani came on as a triple. And then Nonto only got 5. I think Nonto came on 84 and scored on 85, didn't he? But yeah, Firpo, again, nothing stood out in playing bad. When he came on, he tried getting forward. You could see the difference in obviously what Byron gives you at Firpo coming on, but no stood out. I give him a 6 probably because it's Firpo and I fucking love his song, and his mustache is mustache envy on my part. Like Sean says, 6, did not wrong. Danny said 4, probably somewhere in between. That's probably fair, to be fair, but yeah, not really an opinion. Not really, yeah. 5, somewhere in between a 4 and a 6, a 5. Not really an opinion, to be fair on him. Just steady away, so I give him a 6. But
yeah, no, he's fine. He's okay. He didn't do anything wrong, except for throwing it into the pitch for no reason. Just throw down the line.
He took the throw in, didn't he? So
the throw in, yeah. So there you go on him. The goal's his fault.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah, like you said, he should have seen it down line, shouldn't he? I'm not going to stay too much on that. A 4. Fair play. This will be an interesting one then, because take us through this one. He played 5 minutes plus 7 minutes injury time. Is it? Yeah.
That's fine. I think even a sub coming sort of a 5, 6, a 6 really. Scores a goal. Scores a good goal as well, by the way. Great finish.
How many times do you see that shot blazed over bar?
Oh yeah. Oh mate, there's not many players I'd rather that fall. Him, Tanaka, Perot. That's about it in the whole squad, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
I trust to hopefully get it on target. Not a lot of others. So yeah, absolutely. He's been on it late. He's been decent.
You think now, wouldn't you? He starts on Saturday. Whatever the role, I mean, there's an argument, mate. He could play. He could take over from Solomon at left. He could take over from James on right, or he could play in 10. If he doesn't start, bearing in mind, I'd say all 3 of them positions now are open for change. It's on Farke again, isn't it?
I think he's got to start, and I think he probably starts in 10 ahead of Ampadu and maybe Gruev.
Oh, you think? Yeah, wait, Luton, yeah.
Like Clark really, shits the bed, doesn't he, and goes, "Oh, got to get him a win now." All my mates.
Yeah, 100%. I think Nonto, he's earned his start. I've said many times this season, we've said, haven't we, Adam, that the subs when they come off the bench and they've got to impact games. He's been doing that of late. You can see it in him now. He came off at QPR, played really well at second half, dragged us back into the game. He's come there and should have been the winner. I don't see what more you can do now to warrant a start, especially when the people in his positions aren't at it. So
I don't really judge players that come on for 10, 20 minutes and can't influence the game. I think that's such a tough gig when you're not getting any game time and then you come on every 2 games for 10, 20 minutes. Nonto coming at half time, that made a difference. There you go. An earlier sub and giving him a chance. I say, because you're not getting up to the pace of the game while everyone's already up to the pace of the game. Everyone's doing it at the same time as you because it's coming on for the second half. So I think that's what made a big difference in that game, which allowed him to get into it. And now we're seeing some actual benefits of that, which we won't with Ramazani.
Where do you think Nonto's best position is, mate? Just out of interest.
Well, in the Premier League, I thought he's always left wing.
Yeah, me too.
And then he plays right side, but he always plays inside right when he plays on the right, which works quite well. I think just let him pick. Well, I don't know what I say. I think 10. Just play him at 10. I think he's that good. He's that smart of a footballer. Just let him play. Let him drift about a bit. He let him be that little bit of a maverick that Rutter was. Let him get link play up. Let him get involved in little triangles.
I agree. Like I say, I don't think he got a 7 from chat, so thank you very much for that. Well played. I don't think we need Aronson at the minute. Where teams are playing against, I don't think we need that sort of 10. I think, like you said there, when you look at Rutter last season, why can't we have a maverick? Why can't we give a player? You've got James who goes up and down. You've got Solomon who you want to do that, but you don't really do it. Why can't you give that number 10 that sort of maverick role and just say, just go play football, go enjoy yourself? Because I think Nonto, with the freedom to do that, could be honestly devastating. And I know he's been in and out of form, but right now he feels like he's getting into his groove. He had that knock. He's played now, so he's got another week to play again. I think he's fitting raring to go me Saturday. Let him play in 10. And I think, honestly, I think the upside, people going about the downside of not having Aronson side, I think the upside is so much greater then any downside, you lose from Aaron. No, it's a mental conversation, because when you strip all the bullshit back at them and just put two footballers side by side, it's even a joke we're talking about them being in the same position, to be honest.
100%.
It's mad, isn't it? It's a madness.
Aronson will never get a cap for Italy. Luton won't. Luton will not build up at the back. We won't have any pressy to do. There's nothing. So. Just play your best player in there. I mean, there's actually a call for Luton. There's an interesting thing for Luton. Play Joseph and Perot behind him. Play a little bit more direct as well. That, because as teams are just doing that thing, there's swarming out defenders, and none of them got the composure to actually do anything with the ball properly, and we're not being able to build through teams anymore. We've got to tweak what we're doing. We've really got to tweak it. Tweak isn't that Meslier plays long goal kicks all the time and kicks it to Dan James, hoping he's going to head against a 6'3" left back or whatever it is. That's not the tweak. That's not. Oh, we'll play. They're playing territory. We'll play territory. No. Don't try and beat them at their own game. Beat them at our game.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I'm glad you're on, mate. I love your views.
I'm so angry.
I love your views, mate.
So annoyed, we're talking to the group chat, and Sean's like, I'm so angry. I don't like, listen.
Sean's really angry, isn't he, mate?
Yeah. Really, and I was like, angry. I don't really get the angry stuff. And I'm so I really get into it. We're all fucking so angry, aren't we? So annoying. We're so annoyed at Farke.
We are.
Because it can just be better than this. It really can. Because he's, we're not managers. Farke was best, blah, blah, blah. But, I can see when someone is doing something fucking stupid. Yeah. I run a video production company. I don't know how to hold a camera or edit. But when they're a fucking idiot, I shouldn't say that. No.
Oh, wow.
Job, I get annoyed because I can see the camera's facing their face rather than the person. They don't do that, but I'm easily frustrated because even if I'm not an expert on that, exactly the technicalities of it, you can see when things are right and wrong.
No, you can, 100%. I've had a couple of messages today. Mark Sutherland, I think he's in chat tonight. He actually reached out to me to make sure I were all right and said, I didn't like seeing you like that yesterday. Like, genuinely, I don't like seeing you like that. And obviously try to give me a bit of a pep talk. We'll be fine and still time to go and all this. And I understand that, but I'm still not ready to wear it, I'm a really. By the way,
I think we can be fine if Farke gets the big decisions right, which he's never done in his career. He's never shown his flexibility to do what he needs to do. He's got to show a real degree of flexibility to all his choices to date, and he's never shown a tendency in his whole managerial career to do that. So.
That's very true, mate. I tell you what, Skip, I love that comment. I love it. And I think Callum's told me that before as well. Fans saying Luton will be tough as they have something to play for. Yeah, fighting relegation. So do we, promotion. Some people often forget that because we do speak about it a lot, don't we, playing these sides at bottom at league. It's going to be tough and all that. We should be tough. At the minute, we've got a soft underbelly, and I feel like we're rolling over and letting us bellies get scratched. Where's our tough edge? Why aren't we fighting for every ball? Because we're not a minute. We ain't fighting for every ball. When Tanaka's not on pitch, which you want, we're not challenging for second balls, flick-ons. Honestly, these last... Obviously, Tanaka didn't start yesterday, and that was noticeable from the off for me. It looks so much different when he don't play, but even when he has played these, this last 7-8 games, we've looked fucking shite. So soft. And you've got to be in for fight. You can't just rely on talent and quality because that means bullshit. Like, I'm a big believer. I said it last night as well, Adam, that that fight, that extra 10%, what someone will come to Weller Road and give can be a great level of quality if you're not willing to do that, commit to that battle. Don't matter how good you are technically. If you get into a dogfight and you're not going to stand up there and be counted, it's a level of quality. Then all of a sudden, you probably find you'll come out of that dogfight on the wrong end. And to be fair, somehow we got a point yesterday. And they bloodied our nose for a good 70 minutes yesterday, and we're probably good value for a win. It's bizarre that it with them snatching the late goal when you looked at it.
It's the same, like I say, Luton they'll play two big lads up front, I'm fairly certain, and they'll go look for long throws, chips into the box, any free kicks in our half. And every time they have a throw in within sort of 30, 40 yards of the touchline, they'll look a threat. They'll chuck it into our box and it will scare us every single time. And we know that right now. So we've got to manage the game in such a way that we can't keep doing that. Like, make sure we don't concede that many throws. We did against Millwall really well. They had so few free kicks and throw-ins in our half because we managed the game really well, really, really well. So that's what we've got to do against Luton. We can do it.
Yeah, of course we can. 100%. So I ain't going to have a go at you, Adam, mate, because you do all this shit for me. But you didn't give me
it's a spelling mistake, isn't there?
No. You didn't give me a Joseph slide, but I'm not bothered. So I'm just going to talk about him. I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, the chat have given me 3, but I ain't got a Joseph slide. So yeah, he got a 3. I put him down as a 4. So I don't think there's much to say. Bad control. I ain't going to blame him too much, but yeah, the ball didn't stick at his feet. They went and scored. There were a couple of errors in that as well. Melia probably the biggest one. But yeah, not much talk about. People asking.
By the way, Joseph controls that ball, right? He's got a plough up his ass, got a plough. He controls it. He's standing there going, okay, now what?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, he's probably got to go back.
And don't get me wrong, he should still control it. That's still a mistake by him. But why? Just throw it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Just do like the thing you're supposed to do when you're under 11s. Don't throw it into the bleeding pitch.
I've got a feeling I'm going to get told I've gone too high here.
Is this the manager?
That shouldn't be too high. I've gone a 3. Let me get it into Paul because this is, yeah.
Put a 0. Go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you won't give on the 4.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll bang you a 1 in. There you go, Danny, mate. I'll bang you a 1, 2, 3, 4 down. He's not gonna get a 5. So yeah. I've gone with that.
To be honest, I've done. I've spoke about him all night, haven't I? And all the frustrations. Like the Ampadu one's a starting one for me. It doesn't make any sense. Get our captain is such a stupid, like plain, simple way of thinking. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. No, and then in the game, I'll make my sub at 60 minutes, regardless of game state. This whole thing about game state, we had a big debate about game state. Don't make subs in game state. Ampadu was always coming off for 60 minutes. So you start him and you know you got to sub him. So there's 2 possible negatives there. He's not up to the pace of any football at the moment, just because he's the captain. So there's 2 possible negatives that can come of it. 1, he might be shit, which he was. And 2, you got to make a sub when the game's really tight, which he did. So then, okay, 2 massive mistakes in 1, all wrapped up. Boom. Yep, great. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan. Then during the game, he goes, so why not make subs before 70 minutes? Like, so you look at the bench and go, why didn't Gruev start? Like, he's in game management. He's as a team, as a club, our hands are tied because we have this guy as a manager right now. And I would go as far to say, if we go up, I would get rid. If he should go end season either way. He's too limited for me. I've stopped. I know I've flirted with that, and I've stopped short of saying it. But that's what I'm fed up now. There's a straw that broke it now, and that is it for me.
Yeah, I'm sort of getting around to that way of thinking too, and I hate thinking it because it's still 7 games to go. We're all behind him and all that, and we all hope he wins the next 7 games, don't we? We could turn around and go, maybe I spoke too early. Because if he won the next 7 games, mate, and we're absolutely bouncing, we're probably not too asked about him taking us into prep.
If we're winning them because we see him influence the game, well, we have seen him influence the game in a positive way. But it's just huge, isn't it? Like, can we see that? Because he needs to. The only one that can change this, the only one that any power in the whole club, the millions of Leeds fans around the world, is that one man right there. That's it. Be all and end all. The team he starts, the only thing that can impact this is the players who he starts with. All this crap, as I said, he's doing team talk. So I'm sitting there, I'm listening to this guy, team talk. I go, that's fine, mate. You fucked up last season. You're saying the same things now. Why should I believe you? How do I know you know what you're talking about? Like, we're seeing it all again. And you go, right, so the thing you changed was you brought the captain back too early. You thought that was going to be the big statement. That was your Hail Mary. Well, you fucked that up as well. So where do we go from here? Where do we go?
Fucking hell. Hopefully forward, mate. But yeah, it's a worry. The poll have said a 1 anyway. A 1. Wow. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm so torn with him, and I fucking hate it because I really like Farke. Really like him as a coach at this level. I like him as a person, and so when I'm speaking with my head, I'm very much of, regardless now what we do, he needs to go. I've even heard some people say, even if we don't go up, you keep him again because he'll get. Based on what? If we don't go up, he's gone 100%. We've had a conversation, haven't we, Adam? That if we were to maybe not win next 2, would the pull plug potentially? It's a talking point.
Well, who's left? Who's going to make it? Angus Kinnear? What, he's going to ask borrow the Everton manager? The guy running the club works for Everton. Like, like. By the way, so Parag's sitting there, and I'm sure there's some questions about this, so I won't talk about Parag yet.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's
Tarmac Adam. Hang on.
I don't know what does that mean, Tarmac Adam. He definitely does not look like he lays tarmac for the job. That's for sure. I don't know what tarmac is. But you talk a lot of sense anyway. Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to start laying tarmac.
No, me neither.
And that goes on the floor. That's as far as I go.
But yeah, that's it for the ratings. So just buzz through them before I get into the start chat. So I had Mez at 3, the chat had 2. I had Bogle at 6, chat had 4. Roden at 5, chat had 4. Strouk, we agreed 6 apiece. Byron was 6, chat. I don't know what you were doing. 3. Oh my God. Ampadu, 4, you said 3. How you can give Ampadu a 3 and buy them a 3? I don't know. Rothwell, 6. Got 6 apiece there. Aronson, I put 6, you said 4. James, 6, you said 4. Solomon, 5, you said 3. Pirro, 6, you said 3. Tanaka, 4, 3. Ramazani, 5, 3. Firpo, 6, 4. Nonto, 7, 7. Josie, 4, 3. Farke, 3, 1. So really, there's only one side of this who know what they're fucking talking about, and I don't think it's me. So yeah, I do this chat. It gives you a chance to, put your point across, do this sort of stream, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to scoring. I think I'm just a little bit. I don't know. I'm really struggling to keep positive right now. But I think when I break it down to individual players, I'm struggling to. Apart from the odd mistake, I'm struggling to really pin it on them. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the first time this season, mate, or even in the last 2 seasons, where I've really stuck it on Farke. I'm really happy with Farke. And I mean, I walked out of Wembley. I went to Wembley, mate, and I was gutted. He got outdone by that twat at Southampton 3 times in a row. That one on Farke, that he couldn't adapt and see what everybody knew were going to happen. I still didn't feel like I did drawing at home at Swansea 2-2 after getting beat at Wembley. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's felt as bad as it did yesterday. And I don't know why I lost at Wembley. Obviously, it felt awful. But yesterday, Adam, felt fucking so bad. It felt like Wigan 4 or 5 years ago. It felt like the Blackburn game last season when, like the QPR as well, when you get that game when it's like, yeah, that's the straw that brought the camel's back. It felt like that yesterday. And even though it isn't, we're still second. It's still in our hands. I think just seeing Farke, I mean, I was sat just off dugout, seeing Farke against Alan Sheehan. I thought Sheehan carried himself really well. People said it's a bit of a shit house. He were getting stuck in. He were into 4th official. He were giving it all. Farke's just, honestly, perfect away performance by them, by the fans. Really respectful of everything that's going on with Chris and Kev as well. Really respectful. And the manager will bang on. I think for an away side going to a big place like Ellen Road, I think they absolutely nailed it. And Farke, he's bottled it. He's absolutely bottled it. And he's showing now. A lot of people, not just Easy, a lot of people have said this season, Sean Ely said it as well. He isn't the man to take us forward, and the cracks are starting to show now. And I think a massive indicator of that, mate, what we haven't touched on in this stream, was his post-match comments. They were as worrying as the performance.
You know what? I haven't seen it. I haven't watched them.
You've heard them though.
I've heard snippets, not all of it. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, the main 2 parts are the 48 hours off they've been given, and what was the other one? Oh, that we're 100% going into Prem. Sorry, 100%. We will be a Premier League side next season. That there is an absolute shit remark to make. We're not stupid. You just try to butter us up, really. There, he's been robotic all season. Managers don't speak like that, Adam. Why is he saying that now after we've just dropped points at home at Swansea?
Because he knows there's no repercussions. He knows if we don't go to Prem, he gets sacked. It's not like if he gets stays and everyone goes, well, you said we're going to go to Prem. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, he can say that. It's a throwaway comment for him, because if we don't go to Prem, he's not going to be here anyway. So no one's going to pick it up with him. No one cares. So you can say a lot of things right now like that have no actual repercussions. The repercussions are if we don't go up, he gets sacked. So the words don't mean anything, because none of the words mean anything. It's actions. And that's the whole thing. I think we all made peace with, some crap performances leading into this. International break, couple back from injury. We can reset here. I say this why this game was massive. We were so poor after the international break last year. We can reset. We've got players back. Great. If we that's why I win this home game. Because then you go, we win 4 home games. We've got 92 points. We can start building things in our heads and building scenarios. Yeah. But this is just the same as last season. We should have lost yesterday. We were the worst side. We had no game plan. And Farke was outmanaged again.
Yeah, well,
again. And he's outmanaged by managers that are all doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. Yeah, he can't find a way, because they know, oh, if Daniel Farke does this, well, what if he, it's not going to make any subs anyway. We can all wait. Like, we'll set the game. We'll high press. They build up for the fullbacks. We'll cut off those angles. It goes to the fullbacks. Then we cut off the options for the fullback when he goes there. So they have to go back to the centre backs. Centre backs do that. Goes to the other fullback. Cut off the options. Goes back. Until someone chips it forward, and Pro doesn't battle for the ball. Again, not Pro's fault. It's not his game. And that's it. One game plan is to build up through the fullbacks. I say the other option was, against high pressure side, you start our best player, best first receiver in Tanaka. Yeah. And he doesn't start him.
No, I know. Madness. Look what Danny's put here. Matty, why not blame some of the players? Some of those players were here last season. They should be wanting as well. You know what it is, Danny? We have blamed the players. Like, the scores have probably indicated that the players are at fault for individual errors, but Farke's massively at fault too. And you can't sack a team of players. You can't really put a team of players on chopping board, but you can a manager.
No,
me,
no player. Sorry, mate. No player is doing anything out of character in what they're doing. Meslier makes fuck ups. He continues to make fuck ups. Who starts him? Who picks him?
Farke.
Who made scores him for 2 years now? Farke. And that's the same for every single player. We can blame the players by all means. This is all Farke's making. If we go up, amazing.
I agree.
You, Daniel. You're the one that did it. If we don't go up, amazing. You're the one that fucked it up. That's it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, because he's the one picking the team. You know, if someone's doing something totally uncharacteristic, that's different, isn't it? If Pinot goes and scores 3 own goals in game, you're thinking, chuffing up, Pinot, what you're playing at. But if Meslier chucks at his own goal, you're thinking, well, yeah, fair enough. It's what he does. If Aronson has a poor game and doesn't score or assist for 10 or 12 games, but he's consecutively picked, it's on Farke because he's only doing what we know he's going to do. So it's a fair point, Adam. 100%. Good point, Danny. I know, but. What should I say, Danny? It is the manager's job to coach a team. Jesus, Danny.
That's the thing as well. Farke has loads of praise when players are better. He's improved Daniel James. Great man. Yeah. All fair enough. Yeah. Ramazani, he's ghosted him. Since he came back to injury, he's ghosted him. He's not got an option. He's not got a look in anywhere. He gets a game in the FA Cup with a couple of kids and some, a complete disjointed team. And we go, he's not very. Oh, maybe he's not very good. Maybe that's right. No. Like he's a class player, and Farke hasn't found a way to get anything decent out of him since his injury. Yeah, and that's the same for a few players.
Yeah, 100%. Getting some of the star comments. So, just the usual here. Danny's banging some of my friends' pages. So, Wilco White, shout out Wilco White. If you're not subbed, go check him out, please. Passion for Leeds, my mate Callum, and obviously Danny Rumsey himself. Did a good live yesterday, buddy. Today. I was shopping while I was watching anyway. We're good. As you feel right now, do we go up, everyone? I say yes, but close. How are you feeling right now, mate? Yes or no answer. Do we go up?
Yes.
Up, yeah. By our autos as well, if you narrow it down, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I still think so. I still got a lot of hope. I think actually oddly we saw a tiny bit of flexibility in the team he played here, even though he fucked up a lot of it. And I think now, that's the problem, maybe. But maybe has lost the plot. But ultimately, there's some tools there that are, Ampadu will be much better for that 60 minutes. We need. Don't get me wrong. We need Ampadu in that football side. But we need a sharp Ampadu. Obviously, there's no point. He will be sharp from now on. I think. Yeah. So I think we will get better. I think we can arrest the slide. I think it is a slide. There is a pattern here. I think we can arrest it. But it's all on Farke. All on Farke. I'd be amazed if there wasn't 3 or 4 changes, 5 changes from this week's team. Amazed.
I think any other manager would.
Incredible.
I think any other manager would. You can't just keep picking players on name basis or previous form basis. A lot of these players have had purple patches. They're no longer doing that no more. James and Solomon were the best players in the league at the same time for 5, 6, 7 games, weren't they? They're not no more. They're currently on form. They're not. So it needs switching. So yeah, it's going to be a big one to see if he actually has got the balls to do that. Because it's just so easy to just keep turning the same side out, saying what side's good enough. It looks good enough on paper. There's a problem now with these form players not being in form anymore, and I think now the bench. Players need to be given some minutes. Because like you say with Ramazani, mate, he's not getting no minutes. Is he fresh? He's fresh, but, you'd ask him to come on. And even now, even to start a game, it seems wild that you hope he's going to do something. But he is fresh. He's only going to do something if he gets minutes. So why not start him on Saturday? I really would like to see both wingers swapped out on Saturday, me, Adam. He won't do it, but I'd love to see that. Both of them just switched out.
I want to see Donovan 10 personally. I think that this week's rest is quite big. I think the week's rest is good for all the players. But I think you've got to do. Farke's got to do better. Then we've got to get a quick turnaround for another game, then another game. So he's got to really start doing this better. He's got to manage the squad for the rest of the season now. Something he's been incapable of so far. So you've got to find a way for Ramazani to get. Ramazani's going to have to get minutes to manage the squad's overall minutes.
Yeah, he needs to
get minutes. He's got to be on it. So you've got to find a way of getting him a start somewhere, and sooner rather than later.
Yeah, 100%. Richard, Ramazani and Nonto would come in for me. I'd probably take Solomon and Aronson out, and then just play Nonto in 10 maybe, and Ramazani out left. Yeah, but I won't be asked, mate. I think Aronson starts anyway. Won't surprise me to see Aronson started. I'd even think just taking the wingers off anyway and playing them all. So playing them.
I don't know. Yeah, Nonto 10 and Ramazani probably gets a look in the left because Solomon's been so poor for a while.
Yeah, 100%. What's next here? Reason for Darlow. I think it's a good point. Reason for Darlow coming in. Nigel, the defence don't have confidence in him now. It's not even a case of Darlow. Well, to be fair, number one, Melia should come out based on errors, based on if you don't perform, you should come out and someone else should take your job. So that's number one. Number two is how many chances has he had? Another one, he's got to come out for that. And third, just looking at the body language and the facial expressions of the people around him when these errors go in, there's no way any of those players back him. I can imagine players going home and speaking to the missus or having separate WhatsApp groups without Millie in it. You can just imagine the chit chat between them. You know, he just will be. They'll just be as if he's done it again. Like his highlight reel of errors is fucking insane from this year. Just this year.
Yes.
You had his whole Leeds career up, and it's probably fucking 10 minutes long, mate. With no replays.
And what made what 2 or 3 saves out of the normal season as well. Like he's you know, and loads of errors. He's not, you know, like he's still in a massive minus. And I think like we says has no confidence now in Melier. I think it's been for a long time. Fox just backs him blindly because I mean that must be how bad Darlow is. Like I don't get it. We had January. We've got a goalkeeper. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Palmer went from West Brom to Premier League team. Can't think who. You know, he's keeper like 2 million, and they went Premier League. Why weren't we in for him? Like we weren't. People go, oh, maybe we were. We weren't.
Yeah. No, it's a madness, mate. It's an absolute madness. So the points accumulated, what we've dropped just from him alone have been massive. And
someone said in the chat earlier, and you maybe one you starred. Raf has more power than Farke. Well, of course, he can sack him. Yes, I mean that's not a lot of power when you don't have a replacement. You have to like he has no more. Farke's got all the power football inside, all of it, 100%. If you sack him now, you have to find a new manager. There's no like Raf goes down and says, "Oh, play this, play that." Farke can do whatever he wants. He's the manager. And he made sure he was manager, not a coach. He was the manager. So Raf hasn't got more power than Farke at all. Farke's it's all in his hands, all of it. Unless, as Scott said, do we get rid of Farke now?
Well, that's I've actually said that earlier. Look, Adam, would you change the manager at this stage? It's a Madden, isn't it? It's a Madden.
The only no, you can't now. You just can't. Like, I mean, it's too far. Like, it's too far gone. You just got to hope he gets it right. I know he doesn't work for the club anymore. Greta Steinson, I'm in Farke's office because, by the way, Maraf sat there a long time afterwards because he is the MD. He's the person that runs this club. Is this investment arm of it? All these investors need us to be in the Premier League. There's more pressure on Maraf probably than a lot of people in this because he makes the footballing side. He doesn't make the micro grain decisions, the big decisions in the footballing side, but he makes it okay. Who's going to make all those decisions? He puts those people in. So there's so much pressure on him to get this right. So right now it's too far gone. No, you can't sack him, and I don't think it helps in any way, shape, or form now.
No, I don't. I mean, if we'd lost last 4 or 5 and we dropped down to 5th and we had, it looked like we were on a massive slide, then maybe. But we can't drop any lower than 3rd. Although third might as well be bloody 18 for Leeds if we don't finish it top 2, we know that. But yeah, I think it'd be crazy to sack your manager when you're 2nd or 3rd in the league. It really would be. What I will say is it's been okay this season because I think the 49ers has always believed that we'll go up. They'll start doubting that now, like the fans are. I think give it another couple of games. We've got 2 really tough games on paper. I think at the minute with Leeds United, away from home seems a little bit of an issue as well. So we going to Portsmouth, tricky away. You should be winning that. We didn't. Luton away, dinner time kick off. It seems tricky, regardless where they are in division. If we go there and get beat at them, or even draw, because it doesn't feel like there's much between them at the minute, draw and a loss. I know that you get a point, fair enough, you'd rather have it. But it's going to be a meltdown if we don't win on Saturday. If we were to lose this, the 49ers will be looking. For me, they'll be looking. They'll be talking.
If we lose it, I start going right. I think with Farke or a new manager, we're not getting top 2. So now, do we build those 6 games towards the playoffs with a new manager? And I probably push the button. Now, of course, there's lots of things between not doing anything and sacking someone. Like you can go and talk to them and go, what's going on here? Why is this happening? What are you doing here? Why don't we change that? Now, hopefully Farke's enough about him to realise that what that conversation's about and why they're having that conversation. So I mean, we tried new manager bounce several times in the Premier League, didn't we? And it kept getting very.
That's the
very
thing,
wrong.
You see, the bit of a myth that you get a new manager bounce. You can do. It happens a lot, but it's got to be the right man. You're not just going to get, you're not going to be Dave Hockerty in and just win 4 at bounce. It's got to be a good manager for that bounce to happen. Yeah. And is there a possibility it can happen? Of course it can, because if we were to sack him, push a button, whoever comes in will be coming into a brilliant squad who are still sat in a healthy position. It's just a form issue, a mentality issue. So I think if you give it to a decent-ish manager, they would get a tune out of this side because the quality's there. Maybe a different voice is what could be needed because what you see now is the same messages will obviously get drummed into day in, day out. The same conversations will be happening now that what happened 12 months ago.
Yeah.
So can the players take heed in what he's saying, knowing that it didn't work last year? That's an issue for me.
If we lose 2 or 3, if we maybe 1 even, we lose by 2 or 3 goals of Luton, I'd sack him on at full time. I'd go down, do it on touchline.
If we lost 2-0 away at Luton, I think everyone would be saying that because it just feels monumental.
We are then building for there's still a glimpse of the top 2, of course, but we're still then mentally with Farke in charge. We're building for playoffs, right? And I don't trust him to get that right at that stage. So you might as well get a new manager in. You still got then a glimpse of the top 2 potentially. But you got in your head, you go right. We're going to be playoffs, but we've got to build towards that. And you got those 6 games to do it. Then
100%, mate. Because you narrow it down as well and go, yeah, but Farke wins promotion out of this division. Yeah, he has done. He does via autos. He doesn't do it through playoffs. He's had 1 crack at playoffs, I think, Norwich went straight up, didn't he? He's had 1 crack at playoffs and failed. So for me, yeah, 1,000,000%, mate. If we were to lose again, like I say, it's all about patterns and it's all about patterns of form. You look at it, I can accept a poor performance. I can take even a spanking in the game. If you lose 3-0 out, I can you can look and go, there's not much to that. But if that 5 games, 1 winning 5 stretches to 6 or 7, the rot is setting fully then. And it is such a tough fixture for Leeds United. I know it's not London, but you're going down south, dinner time kick-off, all the shit I don't want to talk about, but it's evident it's there.
It's gone now. As well. The faith, sorry, May, faith is gone as well. Yeah, no matter what he says, they need to see it on the pitch. You go, oh, we can correct this, blah, blah, blah. No, like, it's gone. It's gone. Like, I don't believe a word you say. You have no idea what you're talking about. If I'm sitting there as a player and he's talking to me, say, we're losing against Luton, same things, I think you have no way. And it's not far off that right now.
No, 100%. How do you, Callum? I think I started as well. Callum mentioned it to me earlier. Let me just check. Is it in here as well? Yeah, Dr. Cox said it as well. Callum messaged me earlier about it and said to mention it. Do you reckon we've had a bit of a Crystal Palace moment after the game? You can see certain players, a Rodon, a Firpo, losing their head in change room potentially. Has something been said to Melier? Has something, in your opinion, do you think something has blown up in that dressing room for him to say, go cool off, have 40 hours away?
Maybe the 40 hours. Maybe I know he's going to still be thinking about it with his team. So maybe it was for him. Maybe he needs time away from the players. Maybe players need time away from him. Maybe loads of stuff could be happening there, can't it? It's not necessarily.
Is it worrying to hear that, or do you think it's just his management style is thought that's best for the team? Is it worrying that he's made a call like that, or do you think it's needed? He's got 7 days against the next game. It's
is it worrying? No, it's bizarre. I think
he goes on about prep time, doesn't it? He goes on about preparation time. We've had players in that.
We're going to see a lot of changes against Luton. Tactically, we're not going to see a single tactical change. We all know that. If personnel changes, we'll probably see very few. Yeah, Ramsden is not Matt Sharp. He's got 2 days off.
This is what I mean, though. But he moans about not having enough time with players on the training pitch. They've been away internationally. We've had to draft 21s in and stuff like that. And then he's just given them all. We've got 6 days to prepare for next game. And he's just take 2 of them away from him. Like, what do you do? Do you absolutely? Some managers will absolutely bollock them, and they'll be in at 6 o'clock in the morning doing laps, won't they? Based on a poor performance. He's decided to go the other way and give them 2 days off. Some of these players haven't played in 2 weeks. Like, I don't know. Honestly, it can go 1 or 2 ways for me, and I just think it's worrying. He's made some really big, bold statements off the back of a really poor performance, and then he's gone and given 2 days off. He's rewarded him to a degree. I know he probably ain't looking at it like that. He's trying to take the heat off him. Go enjoy yourself. Go take, get out of the cauldron of Leeds United. But they haven't played in 2 weeks for Leeds United, so they've already been out of it, Adam. I don't think 2 more days off helps.
He mentioned this in his press conference, didn't he, after the game? This 2 days off thing, right?
Yeah,
I think. Is that true?
What's that? Sorry, mate. Say that again.
He's mentioned in his press conference after the game, the 2 days off thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's decisions been made before the game, I think. It must have been. It's not gone in and gone, right, that I'm making this. I can't imagine so. Farke can't make a sub without thinking about it for 2 weeks.
I don't know. What do you reckon he might have had it pre-planned? You have 2 days off because of the people that needed the rest and stuff.
Preps. Yeah, makes all his dinners on a Sunday. He does. I think he plans everything to the finer detail and then sticks it rigidly, regardless what curveballs or what parameters or what.
I never thought of it like that. To be fair, he could have just thought, international players have had a lot of, haven't had much rest. Maybe give them it, and then maybe just look over to one. I think I've drilled them for 2 weeks. He hadn't had a game, but I've absolutely beasted for 2. Maybe I to be fair, I haven't even thought of that potentially. I've just thought he's sort of lost his head, conceded 96 minutes coming and gone, fuck off, and it's probably not happened. Oh, I don't see you for 40 hours, you bastards. What do you reckon this one?
That'd been a real concern, yeah. If he has
Joe, there was a debate, I assume, just Joe Wayman. Debate a 3 midfield. Never going to happen. We haven't seen it. We should have seen it by now.
Mate, of course. I think we've got players built for that as well.
Any other manager, Adam, would have tried it with players we've got.
You definitely got to start Gruev if you don't want it. Gruev left. Sorry, Rafa. Gruev left. Ampadu middle. Tanaka right. Like that 3 in midfield is solid as anything.
And all you're losing is Aronson.
Forward.
You're losing is Aronson. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Who can't? Isn't a creative 10 anyway.
I
say he's not a box crashing 10. He doesn't score goals. He doesn't do this. He's not creative. Just play a midfielder then. Play someone solid. Oh, he runs a lot. Yeah, but he gets there. He can't tackle anyone.
Yeah, I agree. It's a shame we haven't seen that. It really is, because the people who say what you've just been saying there, Adam, Aronson, it'd be nice to see these tweaks to sort of shut these people up. Do you know what I mean? To say, yeah, because you can sit there on your horse and say this and that because we've got no proof against it. It's like not having Nonto in 10 all season on Ramazani or Solomon. People saying Aronson's a man. We can't really say anything. All we've got is our opinion.
I said months ago, I think it was on Twitter and I was still on there. I said, I think when Nonto plays that first game in the 10, we'll be going, why the hell hasn't Nonto been in the 10 all season? Yeah. And I think that sort of happened. And I think but that's half time. I think it will happen. Once he starts in there, I go, the better footballer. Like you said, the better footballer in the team.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just really simple, isn't it? It's just a better footballer. And all you're asking that, if you want him to bridge that gap to what Aronson does off the ball, maybe you just got to tell Nonto, fucking run, press, come back. He's got to be fit enough. He ain't fit when we're playing for Leeds United. So for me, you can drill that into somebody, can't you? You've got, if he wants to make it regimented, not give him free rein, and you make his game a bit more boring. You want him to play with a smile on his face, but maybe he says, right, you've got to do this off the ball. Maybe Nonto don't want to do it. He'll have to do it because he's been told by manager.
By the way,
what you can't do, you can't kick. Go on, mate.
How important is it?
The way we play.
How often do we win the ball in the final third?
Yeah,
we're no. Top of the league, but it feels few and far between.
No, it does now. 100%.
And then, I say, teams are just playing territory football against us. They're playing the game in our half.
Yeah, no worries. Mark's off. I'm off, bud. Keep that smile going. Be 3-0 next week. Normal service resumed. I hope so, Mark. Cheers, buddy. Sorry that I haven't been negative. Sorry, I'm a little bit negative a minute, pal.
That's the only normal service.
3-0 Luton. Bloody hell, mate. That'll be madness if that happens. I'll be saying we're going to win Champions League if that happens, mate. If we are in the playoffs, we get a new manager for. Oh yeah, would we get a new manager if we're in the playoffs? Sort of touched on that, haven't we?
I think you got to make that decision like 4 or 5 games plus before the playoffs. Basically, you got to make it.
I agree. This is a fun one. Be here all day with this one. We speak about Bielsa and late night Leeds on Friday because he won the can't wait.
We'd be in better position. He had a worse squad as a better playing. He played a worse sort of Rafinha aside, Rodrigo, mate, probably. He had played a worse squad at playing, getting 9th in the Premier League.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's a fun talking point. It really could do a whole stream on this, couldn't you? Bielsa with his squad and how fun it'd be great football. But I tell you what, we'd still be frustrated with stuff Bielsa did. He wasn't perfect.
Some of the players some of these players wouldn't get a look in for Bielsa. Wouldn't get a look in. What that squad had, would everyone bought into this man marking thing and run for days for him. Some of these players, they just wouldn't do it. They're pretty incapable of doing it.
Solomon won't play. Solomon won't be playing for Bielsa.
Solomon, Pro, they wouldn't get a look in for Bielsa.
No, they won't. Could you imagine though, these games where you don't get subbed off till 70th minute. If you're having a poor game, you might come off on 70th minute, maybe. 20 minutes in, you're off with Bielsa, aren't you? Remember Phillips, best player. Phillips is off it, 25 minutes in, get yourself off, lad. Like, what? Crazy. But he still had his crazy moments, back in Tyler Robertson stuff. He still saw stuff in players and the fans were pulling their hair out. But with this side, I think we'd be top of league and clear with this side. I don't think there'd be any. There'd be no qualms about that. I mean, this side is levels above what he had. Levels above.
Yep.
What's I say? Skip. No, we'd have. To be fair, that's something that I didn't think about yet. Injuries would be piling up. That's for sure. Depends on the bodies whether they could cope with it. To be honest, but talent-wise, if you're just basing it on that, mate, it's what he'd do with this side would be chalk and cheese. But yeah, Richard, he would make him work 100%. Danny said earlier, see everybody blaming Farke. Why not blame the players? Yeah, We're blaming them all.
By the way, so blaming Farke, but we're saying players need to change as well. Like we need change in the team, so it all comes together making the same thing.
100%. Philip is basic as if Daniel Farke doesn't drop Millier, we aren't going up. Do you think it's that cut and dry, or do you think we can still go with Millier playing?
No, I think like he's made his mistake. He might not have one for the rest of the season now. Might be okay. Might make one in the next game. Might make two in the next game.
He tends to go 6, 7, 8, 9 games, doesn't he? Okay, and then there's a clanger. So maybe we'll just pick right side of those games.
Will play on that. The long throws, free kicks, though they'll play on it. There'll be a lot of chips into the box. Yeah, a lot of pressure on him, and he'll be whining a lot.
100%. It's the what we'll say, mate, is every time he's made a howler, the defence and the midfielders have worked so hard. In my opinion, they work hard anyway, obviously, but the 2-3 games after these big errors, he's been very quiet. He hasn't had much to do. So it'll be interesting to see, because at the minute I feel like we're a lot more open. He's getting tested every game now. Like you think early in the season, mate, we were going 5-6 games with only 4 or 5 shots in its entirety in those runner games. He had nothing to do. I remember it at Sheffield United, after we played Sunderland, come back from international break. He had nothing to do in that game. We were expecting him to get bombarded. You've got to stick it on him. Luton would be daft not to stick it on him in this game.
Oh, they will. That's how they can play against us anyway. Exactly that. It will be
the seventh form guide, as Danny says. I mean, I looked at that. We'll look at that.
Honestly, I was thinking that earlier. I didn't look where they were in the form guide. I know they've won a few games. I thought it doesn't matter against Leeds United. If it's 24th, they're going to play away against us. That he's a threat to us regardless. If they were 7th in the form guide and played pure football, I'd be delighted. Great. We'll just out football them. No problem at all. That'd be fine.
Yeah, that's better.
I couldn't care if they're 24th or 7th. If they're going to play long balls, they're going to cause us problems.
Of course they are. And then I think the last one is just a basic one. Stephen, mate, you're right there. I think it's good having 2 away games to let Church calm down. I mean, I've looked at it quite negatively, going 2 away games. It's tricky, but actually, after being in the stadium on Saturday, I cannot imagine if the next game were at home. It's so nervy. So yeah, just the fact that sometimes you can play with a bit more freedom away from home, can't you? Especially Ellen Road. It can be like an anchor around your neck, can't it? Sometimes if it's going wrong, I mean, honestly, that was so somber at the end of that game. It wasn't even toxic. I don't think it's gone toxic. It was just so. It was like everyone. It was like we were third and winning playoffs. It was so surreal, that moment. It was just such a big moment because they did that goal. I'm so happy the next game's away.
Yeah,
so happy.
I was as soon as that game ended. I was really happy it was away. I think there's less pressure in away games.
100%.
I think it's because no matter what, we're all like, bad. There's lots of, you can hear there's murmurs and noises when someone makes a mistake. You hear it all. That's just human beings. Don't get me wrong. It's because we've got such a lot of fans. But so we're playing away from home will be much easier. I think much easier.
100%, mate. Right, guys. Well, that's it. That's play ratings done. You absolutely smashed me on them, chat. I think mine went a bit crap. I might have to rethink them. I'm probably going to win for it. Next time I'm going to be 4s and 5s, just to be a twat. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed doing this segment as well. So thank you very much. Parag was sat in the stadium, says Danny, after everyone had gone. Pete Larry in his ear. Yeah, they won't be happy, mate. 100% they won't be happy. But we'll see how we go. But yeah, I'll be back. Well, I've got a really, really exciting guest this week, haven't I, Adam? So I'm not gonna. It's gonna be a corker. I'm not gonna say no else, but it is gonna be a corker. It's gonna be class. So it's gonna be a pre-record. It's an ups and downs episode, a mental health episode. So it's not for everybody. But I actually think this one will be for everybody. It's not Leeds based, football based, mental health podcast. Getting filmed on Wednesday, going out Wednesday night or Thursday morning. I will keep you all in the loop as I do. Is it Farke? No, it's not, mate.
It's a current professional footballer, isn't it?
It's really nice. It's really nice. So yeah, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Take care, everyone.
Bye all.